All right, guys. So I just finished watching the Ibai boxing event, La Volada 2025. Well, it's pretty much 2025, the boxing event that he had last night on Saturday. And I wasn't disappointed. The only thing, these guys are not fighters. They're all influencers, Spanish influencers, streamers, YouTubers, whatever you could think. But I wasn't disappointed because it was all action. And they pretty much filled out the whole stadium in Sevilla. The one thing, if I had to criticize, is that these fighters, they all gassed out on the first round. They give their best pretty much at the first round, and they forgot that there's a second and third round. And there were 3-minute rounds. So, and then the other thing, they have no guard, bro. Like, they were getting tagged up like crazy. But I respect them, dude, because they're not fighters. They're pretty much fans. They're not even amateurs. But I'm going to explain a little bit about the fights. Okay? So obviously there was like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights in the card. I didn't watch the first one. Didn't bother. Couldn't find it. But I did saw the second card, which is Alana, who's Mexican, and Arigeli, I think she's Spanish. And I'll tell you what, Alana made us proud, dude, because she's Mexican, even though she's annoying apparently. But dude, she was fighting like a Mexican, where she was in the pocket the whole time, pretty much trying to tag the other chick out. And that's what she did. Obviously she got tagged as well, because most of these people's guards is pretty whack. But she got the win, and it was actually an exciting fight because she was landing some combos, throwing the body, pop, pop, pop. Most of these people are headhunting, unfortunately. But like I said, if I had to rank this fight, I'll give this a 4. And Alana did one, which I was happy. She's making us proud. Then we have Praxita, who's a Minecraft streamer in Spain, and then Gaspi, who is like a YouTuber in Argentina. And this fight, dude, they were not athletic at all, bro. These guys are pure gamers or gooners. I don't know, man. But this was one of my favorite fights, actually. Actually, Alana was my first one. This was my second favorite fight. And Praxita, man, he was landing some freaking shots, bro. Like straight hooks, uppercuts, man. Like, he was tagging Gaspi out. And Gaspi, I mean, he tried his best, unfortunately. But it was too late, man. It's only 3 rounds, dude, to be honest. And the referee called it because he was getting tagged. Gaspi was getting tagged up the whole fight. And he wasn't defending himself, so the best thing you could do is actually stop the fight, just because you don't want to hurt the other opponent that's receiving the punches. That fight, I give that one a 4. I did like that one. And then we got another women's fight, right? Abby and Roro. They're both Spanish. This fight wasn't that good. I give this fight, unfortunately, Abby looks like a pretty girl, and Roro is another pretty girl. But she's a shorter one. Abby's a tall one. Abby doesn't punch hard, to be honest, man. They're not athletic at all. And then Roro, she was pretty much a human punching bag, where she was just keeping pressure. But the thing is, she wasn't punching back. Abby was throwing literally most of the punches all 3 rounds. And that's the only reason why she won. And I think it was like a straight that Abby gave to Roro. And it wasn't even a strong one, and I guess Abby's support leg, the back leg, literally gave up on her, and they count as a knockdown, standing 8. But that fight I gave a 0. Didn't like it that much. But I respect the ladies. I respect the lady. You gotta respect them, dude. And to be honest, guys, dude, give female boxing a chance, dude. Especially the pro ones, because they fight with honor, bro. They tear each other out right there, dude. They want to win, dude. You know, there's blood out there, man. So give it a try, dude. Seriously, you won't be disappointed, dude. There's a reason why UFC does it. Then we got Virus and Tomás Massa. I think they're both streamers, Argentinians or Spanish. This is my 3rd favorite fight. Actually, Virus was a little bit taller than Tomás. Tomás, right here, if you see his body, he looks like he's on steroids. He needs to get a drug test, pretty much. Actually, Virus was doing his job, man. He was just using his advantage, his height, and his reach, pretty much. And he was tagging Tomás more, because the reason why Tomás was losing is because he was getting frustrated. You know, he was getting mad. His ego was controlling him. And unfortunately, he couldn't find a solution or even try to tag Virus. Even though he got him a couple times, but it wasn't enough, unfortunately, because Virus was actually landing more combos. He was more active, unfortunately. But that fight was really good, and I give that fight a 4. Seriously, a 4. And then we got Andoni and Carlos Belcas. Carlos Belcas, he's a Mexican streamer. Aldonis is a Spanish streamer. I don't know. Aldonis right here, guys. You tell me if he doesn't take TRT, you know, Trebolone and EPO, dude, or whatever. The guy was on steroids, and there was a mismatch. That was the biggest mismatch ever, just because Aldoni looks like he's a freaking heavyweight, bro. And the other guy looks like he's even a smaller weight, dude. I was like, come on, dude. Like, you guys need to do a better job in the matchmaking, to be honest, man. Because everyone knew who was going to lose. But my boy Carlos, I'm going to tell you this, guys. I was proud of him, dude. That guy tried. He was doing the same thing. If you're fighting a bigger guy, then you want to be inside the pocket. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, Carlos was just bouncing way too much. So he was wasting way too much energy on the first round. And the only thing that Adonis needed to do is really establish the jab. And then when he gets close, like lunge forward at you, you just throw it straight at him. And you throw it hard, dude, so you could push it back and knock him out. So he could respect you. And that's what happened pretty much. And Adonis won that fight easily, man. But Carlos Belcas, he took some punches, bro. He ate a bunch of them, dude, in the chin, dude. And that guy did not went down, bro. So give him respect, dude. That fight was my favorite one, to be honest. I'd give that fight a 5. I just hope that Ibai actually hire better matchmaking guys, because that was a mismatch for sure, bro. And then, obviously, we got the main event. And actually, that shouldn't be the main event. The main event should have been Adonis versus Carlos Belcas. But we have The Grief. I don't know who the hell that guy is. He's a Spanish YouTuber / streamer. And then West Cool, who is the biggest Spanish streamer in Kick. He's Colombian. Let's just say The Grief looked like he actually trained, and West Cool looked like he just slacked. He lacked the whole entire camp. Okay? The guy looked like he did not look in shape. He was more busy singing when he was in when they had his thing going on. Like I said, West Cool, when the fight started, West Cool just went at it all out, all gas, no breaks on the first round, and he got tired because once the second and third round happened, The Grief just took advantage of that and just knocked, like he was just tagging him the whole time, and you could see West Cool, like his guard was literally like this. And he was turning his back, which is like a no-no. That's like a sin in boxing, bro. If you turn your back on a fighter, you're going to get your ass knocked down. So, unfortunately, that fight was a bust, bro. I give that fight a 0. To be honest, I know these type of events, when you try and do like Creator Clash fight or whatever, it's hard to get these influencers to actually train properly just because they're lazy. You know? If I was there, I probably would have knocked one of those guys out. But I need to make sure you guys pair me up with my weight class. I don't want to fight a freaking middleweight when I'm literally 135, dude. It's like that's a huge freaking difference, dude. I mean, I could probably do it, though, but it's gonna take me to pretty much be careful, dude, because I don't want to get knocked down. But regardless, the event, I'll give this a solid 4. It was actually a good event. I feel like this type of events is going to open a lot of eyes, so that a lot of these kids could actually explore boxing, the world of boxing at least, because if you think about it, boxing is getting bigger and bigger, more better fights with the turkey guy and all that stuff, and I feel like boxing should be up there, same with football or American football, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's my ratings on the event, and hopefully you guys liked the video. If you guys did, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.